We are making money hand over fist on Tesla. If you've been following these videos here, you know that I've been giving you updates all along the way. In April, in June, in July, I told you we were going to hit $1 trillion market cap and the reasons why I thought that was inevitable. Then I told you that 400 was the next target. And I also told you that the long-term target is $2 trillion market cap for Tesla. Now, in this video, I want to give you guys some plays towards the end of the video. How do we play this here now that Tesla is back near all-time highs? Remember, Tesla's all-time high was around $415 back in November of 2021, and today, as of the time of this recording, you're probably seeing this the next day, but it hit $409. So we are all but near all-time highs. What usually happens to Tesla at all-time highs? What can we expect here? Is there more juice in the tank left for Tesla to keep growing exponentially in the short term? What should we watch out for? Are there things that we should be cautious about in the short term, right? I'm here to break it down all for you, including some of the new developments with Tesla, the Tesla Model Q, some of the advancements with regards to its FSD, a potential surprise that really blow the top of Tesla's price if it comes to fruition. So I'm going to break it all down for you. Let's get right into it. So first, I want to give you a brief overview of price, talk about Tesla's market cap a little bit, because yes, it does seem ridiculous, but we'll explain why. And then we'll go over some of the advancements. And then towards the end of the video, I will be giving you my plays. If you want, skip ahead to this marker here that you see on the screen. If you just came for the plays, I respect your time. Don't want to waste it. So as I said, Tesla hit a high today as of the time of this recording of 409. Right now, its market cap, as I suspected it would, even though some of you said that you were going to go short because I said Tesla would hit $1 trillion market cap. I wonder if those people are still alive. Almost $1.3 trillion market cap. Now, if you just compare it to other car companies, especially ones that are traded on US exchanges, you'll see Toyota, $230 billion market cap. This is a company that I am bullish on for the long term, not like Tesla, but that's for another video. Ferrari, $82 billion. That's more of a, legacy luxury brand. Mercedes-Benz, $63 billion. GM, 58, Porsche, 57, BMW, 52, Volkswagen, 46, Ford, 42, Honda, 40, etc. So obviously looks super overpriced if you were just going by the fact that it is a car company. However, the video that I posted here, I outlined to you why I thought Tesla would hit $1 trillion market cap and why its future is really in AI and not just in the automotive space, right? Go and watch that video for a detailed breakdown because I don't want to break it all down for you again. But if we look at Tesla's total addressable market, which is basically the main reason why Tesla could even grow from here and will likely grow from here, right? The EV sector, it's, at least in the US, it is the best-selling car in the EV space by a mile. And worldwide, they are some of the best-selling EVs worldwide, even with the challenges that they face in China in and out, right? However, Tesla's total addressable market doesn't only involve automotives. If you look at this is from Grok, actually on X, but it said this would not only include the current automotive market, but could potentially tap into markets like transportation services, robotaxis, and autonomous deliveries, essentially redefining the automotive industry's scope. The value of this expanded market would be incalculable, but could potentially push into trillions of dollars, considering the automation of personal and commercial transport. So we're not just talking about people getting in their cars and driving around. When you start thinking of the scale of AI, unfortunately, as jobs become more and more replaced by machines and machine learning, what Tesla is doing under its roof really supports that world, right? And I think Amazon is also another player in that space. But at least in terms of FSD, there isn't even a company that comes close, right? And you can see here, BMW praises Tesla's full self-driving technology on social media because version 13.2 came out recently and it has been a hit. There are videos of people driving for almost 2 hours untouched. This is one of the things that I wanted to discuss that might be a pleasant surprise and might give Tesla stock price another push depending on when this happens. But BMW said very impressive regarding Tesla's FSD 13.2 specifically. What have we heard on and on again about Tesla and other car companies? Obviously, other car companies are making great EVs. Audi, BMW, Toyota, they make nice EVs with a lot of features. The one thing that they lack in is really where the future frontier is, which is automated driving. Everybody knows that's where we're headed, right? That is sort of the arms race currently. And Tesla has been collecting data for over a decade. They are millions of miles ahead of any other car company as it relates to full self-driving. So this got some people excited because the expression of interest by BMW suggests that the car company may consider future collaborations with Tesla in the realm of autonomous vehicle technology. So the amount of money that Tesla will be able to generate in the commercial space by licensing FSD to basically every single car manufacturer on planet Earth. If you just think of that on its own, that could already amount to a similar market cap, if not more, of what Tesla is currently valued. Then we talk about the Model Q. This right here is being released supposedly early 2025. The Model Q is a cheaper version, is the cheapest car that Tesla will make when it is released. And this not only will address the US market, but will address the Chinese market, which has a ton of cheap EVs at this price point at the moment. No doubt there will be an insane amount of demand for this car. And more importantly, because of the reduced features and cost cutting, I mean, this could end up being the best selling car that Tesla has. And if that's the case, then Tesla's overall margins will start increasing again. It has already started going up, back up a little bit, but Tesla's overall margins will increase once again. If we look at gross margins here, it went from as high as 27% in 2022, dropping all the way down because obviously they started cutting costs of their cars, and the price of their cars, went all the way down to about 18 and now is hovering back up to 18 point something. So the inclusion of this car is why Tesla is confident that it's going to hit its volume growth of 25% to 30% next year in 2025, even though a lot of analysts see headwinds as it relates to the overall automotive industry. Now, what's interesting about that FSD 13.2 is that is the base of the software that will likely power Tesla's robotaxis. And so one thing that we discussed in some of our previous Tesla videos is this aligning of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And the reason that part of the reason, or a big reason, that Tesla's seen a parabolic run recently was because of the election. Now, if Donald Trump in 2025, once he's inaugurated, if he, as a matter of fact, does lift a lot of the regulations and restrictions that would allow for, real life testing of unsupervised FSD, I think that investors and the market as a whole will likely start to see these things that, Tesla was always accused of not bringing things to fruition, promising things, but then, years go by without seeing signs of its fruition. However, in this case, you're starting to see Tesla show and prove these things that were promised 5, 6, 7 years ago. A lot of investors and the market and a lot of short sellers, the reason that they were pessimistic on Tesla is because talked a big game, but there weren't enough clues that showed the market that these things were imminent. And I think we've hit a new landscape here. And you can even see here Deutsche Bank's analyst Deutsche Bank raised its price target along with JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley. In the past, Tesla has made audacious goals and failed to meet them. The company believes this time could be different. You said because the incoming administration will promulgate new federal self-driving rules or guidelines through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which would remove that regulatory headwind. And you can see here, Morgan Stanley sets a price target of $400 for Tesla, which is the highest currently out of any analyst. Shout out to the G right here, Dan Ives. But his price target is actually $2 trillion, which puts it at around, I think, $636 a share. All right, so what's next for Tesla's price and what piece can we potentially leverage here? All right, so the first thing I want to get this out of the way. Covered call premiums are insane right now. So you can see here, I sold the 560 covered calls on Tesla expiring January 17th for almost $500 a piece. Obviously, you need 100 shares of Tesla to sell one covered call. This right here is free money, especially if you're going to keep your shares, and they expire really not pretty soon. This is right before the inauguration on January 20th, right? So selling these Tesla at 560, that's another 40% higher from here. So I'm okay letting my shares go if Tesla hits 560 or above by January 17th, but essentially that's very unlikely. And essentially this is free money here. So right now you're in the territory where we could start making free free money on Tesla, basically. If you look at options premium here, they are absolutely ridiculous because Tesla had, an insane rally. IV is up as well. This is on Public's platform. Shout out to Public. Huge announcement coming soon, but not just yet. But you could see here, I mean, you can sell calls ridiculously out of the money. 600 call, $250 per contract, right? If you were a little freaky and more frisky, you could sell the 500 call for $845 per contract. That's insane. And these are all expiring January 17th. So first and foremost, if you have a ton of shares and you want to generate income from them, I would definitely sell covered calls, especially super far out of the money covered calls with these types of premiums. The strike price will be up to you. What are you willing to let your Tesla shares go for? Obviously, the further up you go, the less chance of you getting assigned are. So it's going to be up to your taste based on the trade-off between the premiums you receive and the stock price that you're willing to let your shares go for. All right, let's look at the chart real quick here, right? So obviously I said Tesla has basically reached all-time highs, very near the same highs that it did in November of 2021. So historically, what happens when Tesla does this? Well, honestly, it's not great news, okay? Now, I'm not saying that it's going to tank automatically. I will get into a little bit more nuance, but look at this, right? Every time that Tesla has hit all-time highs, it has had a significant retrace, right? You can see here, it hit these highs a few times before retracing, having a significant drop-off. You can see that here. Tesla does this routinely. You can see this entire stretch from 2017 to 2019. It wasn't able to pierce its all-time highs. Now, after 2020, things changed because the company became profitable and started reporting positive earnings. Move up from 2022 was really unprecedented. Now, one other thing that I want to note here is that Tesla's only been oversold on the weekly 3 times in history. And each time that it's been oversold on the weekly, it's had a massive run. Back in 2016, it was oversold on the weekly, had a 164% run, then a 55% drop off. Then back in 2019, it had a historic run of 448% after being oversold on the weekly. Then it had a 64% drop off. This thing trades like Bitcoin sometimes. From that 64% drop off, then it had a 1600% run. And then obviously we were oversold once again at the end of 2022. And right now, as of the time of this recording, it's pretty modest compared to some of the other times historically, but 285% since we were oversold in December of 2022. Now, obviously, stock price is in everything, right? So with that said, let's look at Tesla's PE ratios, right? What was it historically? Tesla's PE ratios in 2020 onwards has been astronomically high, but started basing in 2022, trading really between, I would say, 40 and 80. That's the range that it's been trading in. And we actually have some data on this. 3-year average. This is perfect because Tesla really started becoming profitable very recently in 2020. That's why it only has started having a PE ratio in 2020. You don't have a PE ratio if you have negative earnings, right? So when you look at it, Tesla's 3-year average is 75. Tesla's 5-year average is 232. The median of Tesla's PE ratio is 73. Minimum is 30, maximum is 940. And we just now got to the point where the price is above EPS once again. For the longest time, really for a couple of years, price was below EPS. We are now above EPS. So we are reaching levels that, we've historically seen Tesla, quote unquote, overpriced or overvalued. One other thing to consider is the inauguration of the new president, of Donald Trump. How does the stock market react before and after inaugurations? Here is what is crazy. I actually couldn't believe these stats. 2020, 40% of the gains in Biden's first year of a presidency is usually bullish, but 40% came before he was sworn in. And in 2016, 31% of the total gains of the entire year happened before the inauguration. So we are seeing an insane rally, not only in Tesla, but in other stocks as well, after the election leading up to the inauguration. What we have seen historically is not only Tesla, also the stock market has seen pullbacks in January and February, right? And if we take a look at Tesla during election years, you can see right here was the inauguration in 2021, right, of the 2020 election. And you could see a drop off here. Not as bad of a drop off for Tesla in January, February of 2017. A little bit of a pullback here. This looks like to be about 10%. So honestly, I'm not expecting Tesla to keep going parabolic past the inauguration. I do think we will see a pullback. But Tesla does have a lot of things on the horizon, right? It does have the Tesla Model Q. Is it going to deliver on that? Is that going to increase its margins? Is that going to have it meet its volume capacity? Is Tesla going to finally be allowed to test unsupervised driving in certain states like California? Is Trump then going to help with lifting the regulations? If it goes well, say they do a pilot test in a couple of states, is that then going to give the Trump administration confidence to help lift the restrictions for national restrictions basically for unsupervised FSD? If that's the case, then you're going to see a renewed rally on Tesla, and we will start getting to that $2 trillion valuation, because as I discussed, the more that these things can come to fruition or appear more imminent than just some pie in the sky idea that Tesla historically has not paid off, right? We are now entering a realm where we are starting to see these things come alive, and with less restriction, you will start to see them come alive even more. So I do think that the next pullbacks, if we do end up getting a pullback on Tesla, those pullbacks are buyable. If you are not in Tesla here and you are not up 100% like us, one, make sure that you join us. Link is in the description below. It'll be the best money you've ever spent. You get to watch me trade live every single day as well. But I put my money where my mouth is. I told you I was buying Tesla in the 150s. I told you I was buying it again in the 220s. Averaged out my buy-in to about $200, up over 100% right now. But if you're not in Tesla, I would not buy Tesla here as it is going parabolic with no pullback. You have to wait for a pullback. In my view, I think we will likely get that pullback somewhere towards the beginning of the year next year. And then at that point, I am confident in the continuation of these positive news releases. I do think we will see, as good as FSD 13.2 has been, I do think we will see that piloted out, and then likely we will start to see that released nationally, right? Propagated nationally, at which point this idea of robotaxi becomes something of a reality. So as I said in my $2 trillion video, I still think Tesla can get to a $2 trillion valuation within the next few years. And if you look at the way Tesla's cycle moves, Tesla is very predictable. It's like Bitcoin cycles, right? You see this consolidation, a huge move up. Then if you take this entire consolidation here, you'll see another move up, consolidation, a little bit of a retracement here. Then Tesla becomes profitable. You see a parabolic move up, then consolidation here. And we are now breaking out of this to the next frontier. And Tesla can easily break out and hit that $2 trillion mark within the next few years, at which point there will be a reevaluation of its total addressable market. How much of these niches has it penetrated, right? How much of the robotic space with Optimus has it penetrated? How much has robotaxis penetrated? Has it taken market share from ride-hailing companies? Has it licensed out its autonomous driving to other car companies like Honda and Ford and Toyota and BMW? What about autonomous delivery, right? Imagine packages and other things being delivered without a driver. What about commercial transport, right? Are we going to have basically trucks or freight driven cross country with no drivers? This is why when you look at this, you might think that Tesla's currently overvalued, but remember the stock market is forward looking. When you talk about all of these things together, it's very hard to price in AI advancements. We don't know what the future will look like. We just know that it will look entirely different. And out of these companies, this is the only company that isn't really a car company. It has the ability to transform the entirety of transportation, both in the retail sense and in the commercial sense. So in short, I'm selling covered calls. It's free money on Tesla. And I would personally wait for a pullback, right? And you want to wait for natural pullbacks. Hopefully you know how to read a chart. If not, what was previous resistance now likely becomes support. Obviously, if it pierces through, then you look to the next level of support or the next level of resistance turn support. You have a support level here at 270, right? right? So 360, 270, these are the types of levels that I would add for Tesla if you're bullish for the long term. Obviously, I will be making video updates, right? So make sure that you keep tuning into these video updates, but I will keep making video updates, especially with regards to options plays. Right now, I would not buy calls here. I would only buy calls on pullbacks. Right now, I'm selling covered calls, and I would also start selling cashier puts on pullbacks, right? Especially if we get a little pullback here to that 360 level, I do think that there will be lucrative opportunities to sell puts there. So if you want access to all of my plays, all of my real-time calls, including long-term analysis, we also do one time a month. We do an investing call once a month with our investing group. If you join the trading and investing tier, then you get to watch me trade live every single day. I day trade futures live with the group. You also get access to all of my day trades, etc. Make sure you join below. It's well worth it. People pay hundreds of dollars just to collect all of their streaming services to watch garbage TV. In this case, you get to watch something educational and hopefully learn a skill that can make you money in the future. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.